So a very good afternoon to you wherever you are. You're still here on the pulse. My name is Benedict Owusu and we'll talk sports now. Obviously, today we're building up to the big game on Sunday at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium, Kumasi, Asante Kotoko up against Accra Heartland. Obviously, it's a big game for us here in the country. Remember the first leg which was played at the Accra Stadium, Heartland lost by a goal to nil to Kumasi Asante Kotoko. Ketsi that Sulama Abdullah's howler which gifted Kumasi Asante Kotoko all 3 points. So this time Hearts would want to get something out of this game, especially considering their fine form in their last 2 games. Their last game which they played was just yesterday at the Accra Stadium. They defeated Chelsea by a goal to nil, and also last Sunday they went away and defeated Azakes by a goal to nil. So Heartland now lead the Ghana Premier League table with 40 points and we'll do the analysis going into that game as well. But yesterday after the game against Chelsea, I had the opportunity to speak to Frank Nelson, who is a board member of the club, and he doubles as a member of the strategy committee on his anticipation going into that game involving Kumasi Asante Kotoko on Sunday.
As far as Hearts and Kotoko is concerned, it's no question of confidence, it's no question, sometimes it is the day. You might ask me what's the day, but I believe that Hearts and Kotoko is not just an ordinary day. People call it a classical, people call it anything, but it's in a situation where we're going in a mind that Kotoko has beaten us at home and picked 3 points, beating us with the Presidential Cup, and we went with a trophy. And again, we're looking at a situation where Kotoko has lost their away match, at Dwarfs, and I believe that is an opportunity for us to go and see if we can get a point. But I believe that is a day that we can make 3 points from Asante Kotoko. I'm not saying that because it's just easy for us. Asante Kotoko at all time, you cannot say today this is the winner or tomorrow they will be the winner, but we have to wait for the 90 minutes. But I believe for the shape of my boys today, if we confront the game on Sunday the way we confronted today, I believe we'll get a result. If worse, we'll get at least 1 point from Kumasi.
So that was Accra Heartland board member Frank Nelson, and I noted that he doubles as a member of the strategic committee, speaking to us on what he anticipates going into that game against Kumasi Asante Kotoko at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium. It's a super clash, and today on the Pulse Sports we're doing a special build-up. Tomorrow as well we'll do same before the game on Sunday, and there'll be live commentary on Joy 99.7 FM. Well, we still stay with that. And yesterday, I also had the opportunity to speak to some sports journalists that made their way to the Accra Stadium to watch the Chelsea Accra Heartland game. Well, you remember Kumasi Asante Kotoko yesterday as well lost 4-1 to Obusuados, and Heartland winning by a goal to nil. So you look at the two teams in terms of results in their last 3 games. Obviously, one will say that Accra Heartland will go into the game as a better team ahead of Asante Kotoko because of their results in the last 2 matches. Kotoko drew with Bichim United at the Baba Stadium, and yesterday lost to Obusuados. Heartland won away at Second D Hazakes and also won against Chelsea. So what's the anticipation going into the game? Here are some views for you.
Stunning results. No one saw this coming. I don't recall the last time Kotoko lost that heavily in Cape Coast, not to talk of a league match. Now there's a 5 points gap with only 10 matches to play, with 30 points available to the 2 teams. What we do know from the past is that Accra Heartland seem to perform very well when they do play in Kumasi. Kotoko, on the other hand, seem to perform very well here when they play in Accra. They've won twice in Accra this season already. But having a look at the points gap, Kotoko would know that if they don't pick up all 3 points in Kumasi on Sunday, then it will be very difficult to catch up. I think this will play into the psyche of Coach Michael Osei and the players going into Sunday's game. I don't think it's going to fully form guide like we've always had. It will be a cracking game on Sunday.
Well, for Hearts Kotoko games, Benedict, you agree with me that you can't predict Hearts Kotoko games. This heavy loss by Asante Kotoko will not determine the game on Sunday. Sunday's game is going to be a different ball game, and I believe it's going to be a tight game. Whoever wins will win by a slim margin.
So considering what we saw here today, I don't think what happened here to Accra Sports Stadium will translate to the Super Clash on Sunday. Because in games of that high magnitude, we know that it's who wins on that day. It doesn't matter whether the last game between both sides, that really doesn't count. So I'm expecting that it will be a game, and I don't really want to predict. Yeah, anybody can win on Sunday.
Also very physical. I think it was a good motivational game for Heartland. They know they need to come out stronger on Sunday against Kotoko, and I think it'll be a great match on Sunday.
Certainly everyone knows right now that the Heartland fare well when they go to Kumasi, and this will be a morale boost for the Phobians. Kotoko The previous game, they struggled to pick points at home. Okay, it was a point they picked at home, but then it was difficult for them. Now they go away and they're down by 4 goals to 1. It's a big one there for them. Certainly, their confidence will go low. But anytime they're playing Hearts, in recent times, the past 2 seasons, they've always had the upper hand. So I'm sure that should also be another side of motivation for them. But Sergio is saying that, well, he's heard about Kotoko. He in a press conference, he said, well, he knows a bit about them, and going into this game, he's just going to use a normal preparation going in there. So it looks like the Hearts side have more of what they're going in there to go and win the game. We'll to see how it pans out. But as it stands now, the confidence should be more with regards to Hearts of Oak getting the upper hand into that game.
For some views for you, let's go live to Kumasi and speak to Kofi Asai, my colleague at Love FM. What's been the talk in town ahead of the game on Sunday? Kofi, thanks so much for joining me on the pulse. I mean, you are in Kumasi and you've been holding discussions on the radio. What are people saying going into the game on Sunday?
Well, Benedict, thanks for having me. And it's a general feeling of disappointment. And this is a team which drew 1-1 with Bichem United on Sunday. And after that game, many of the fans were not happy with what was seen on the pitch. Some even went as far as trying to attack the head coach of the team, Michael Osei, the acting head coach, I must say. So after this 4-1 result, it's more of anger and also disappointment ahead of Sunday's game. And if you monitor the various radio programs in Kumasi and the phone-in segments, the general statement from the fans is one of dismay. They are not too happy with the performance of the club. They believe if something is not done immediately, then they are in for disgrace on Sunday.
Well, Kofi, you know, yesterday Kumasi Asante Kotoko lost by 4 goals to 1. Hearts, on the other hand, won their game against Bekum Chelsea at the Accra Stadium. I mean, going into that game, how does this play in Kotoko losing by that heavy margin, their very first heavy defeat in this season's Premier League, and also Hearts winning their last 2 matches?
Well, that's the beauty of the whole thing. Now, it gets the class in a very interesting way. And with Hearts coming into this game on the back of those wins and leading the Premier League by as many as 5 points from Kotoko. And the Hearts fans on the other side are a bit buoyant going into the game. But Kotoko fans are a bit coy, they are a bit shy, if I should put it that way. They are not too confident in their team's ability going into the game. And many of them have been speaking about what should be done. Some of them believe help must be brought in for Coach Michael Osei. Some have questioned his tactical abilities going into the game on Sunday. And it's quite interesting to hear some of these comments from the fans, because not too long ago they were backing him. And mind you, Sunday will be his 15th game in charge as interim manager. And that is one of the points the fans have been making. Either you confirm him or get someone to come in as the main head coach. But for now, they are not too confident in the head coach and not confident in the fortunes of the team itself going into Sunday's game, especially putting Accra Hearts folks' recent performances and their league-topping achievements alongside it.
Kofi, you personally, what do you anticipate going into the game on Sunday?
Well, I've watched Kotoko over the past 5 matches consistently, and I must tell you, this loss to Dwarf is not a surprise. It was coming, and the whole transitional play of Kotoko has been missing. Now you look at the goals they scored, and in the second round, Amos Frimpong, the defender, has scored 3 goals. You look at the strikers, and apart from Bennett Ofori, none of them have scored. Bada Mohammed has been consistently missing from training because of national assignments. And this is a problem for Kotoko. The goals have not been coming from where it should come from in the squad. Now you look at the defensive midfield role, and it's been poor. And Tiflos Nyame is a bit reckless. In the last game against the Chiefs, Michael Osei went in with Eric Osei, who had just returned from injury, and it was catastrophic. And you look at Kotoko's backline going into Sunday's game, they'll be missing Ahmed Adams, who's been the mainstay of the team, and also, mind you, Eric Donko has been suspended because of the red card he got in yesterday's game in Cape Coast. So, it doesn't look too good for Kotoko. Look at Accra Hearts on the other hand, and I must say they've been brilliant under Sergio Traoré. The goals were not coming, but it was because they were profligate in front of goal. Patrick Razak, Isaac Mensah, those lads are doing so well. The return of Samudin has also added something into the Kotoko team. They create lots of chances. So it's more like a team on form against a team in trouble on Sunday. And if there was anything to go by, then you'd say Kotoko are winning. But this tie does not rely on the form book. It's a different tie.
Okay, so in terms of, so if I get what you're saying, for you, looking at the performance of the two teams in their last two or few games, Accra Heartful definitely will start as a better team ahead of Kumasi Asante Kotoko. But let's talk about spectating. In the first game at the Accra Stadium, we saw the massive attendance there. Is that the vibe you also pick in Kumasi, that this time we also have another great, in terms of attendance, it will be massive at the Baba Stadium on Sunday?
Well, I can confidently tell you the Hartford fans will be there in their numbers, and but they are not the majority when you come to this part of the country. You have got more Kotoko fans here. And as to whether they will go in there, a lot of work has to be done by the Kotoko management, because time and again these fans have been disappointed by the team whenever the management has gone out there to speak so loudly to get them into the stadium. Last Sunday was an example. It was a decent turnout, but then they disappointed. And this 4-1 result will also put some fear into the hearts of many fans. And Kotoko fans really love their team. And when the team is down, it affects them, and it goes to even push them away from watching the game. But then I feel the allure of the super class, which has been there for a very long time, will definitely bring them in. But it will take a lot of work from the Kotoko communication department.
Thank you so much, Kofi Asari, for joining us here on Pulse. That was my colleague Kofi Asari, who works at Live FM in Kumasi, and we'll actually be commentating on that game involving Accra Heartful and Kumasi Asante Kotoko at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium. That match will be played on Sunday. What the Football Association has decided to do is that all other matches will be played on Saturday. And remember, tomorrow as well, the Black Starlights are in action in the African Youth Championship qualifier final, final round second leg qualifier against Senegal at the Robert Mensah. That match will be played at the newly Cape Coast Stadium. So the Black Starlights must overturn a 3-1 deficit to ensure qualification to the tournament, which will be hosted in Zambia 2017. So on that note, we end sports here on Pulse. My name is Benedict. For more sports news, make your way to the My Joy online sports page and keep following the Joy Sports team on Twitter at Joy Sports GH. Also on Facebook is at Joy Sports. My personal Twitter handle is at Chrissy Benedict, and as well you can follow me on Facebook at Benedict. Have a good afternoon. Enjoy the rest of the program.